What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Espresso, and welcome to today's video. Now today, we're bringing back the breakdown series in which I had on my channel here. It's been a while, a couple weeks since I've done these, so I decided let's do the most recent thing that we could, and that would be the Predator kill streak from the Devastation DLC pack. This one was quite interesting to do, to test out, simply because it was not a gun. It wasn't something that I was normally used to. This is the first breakdown that I've done that hasn't been a primary weapon. Now that being said though, I was super excited to test everything out. I got some awesome stats and figures pulled for you guys, so we should be able to cover in depth completely what the Predator has to offer. So before we get too far into the video, I just want to do what I do with every breakdown. This is going to be on Carnage Clan as well, so please go check out Carnage down in the description below of my channel, and if you're on Carnage watching this, come check out my channel down in the description below. Now let's get into some basic information about the Predator. This was part of the Devastation DLC pack. It was this pack's pop culture addition to it. Last DLC that we got, it was the Mike Myers skin to the Maniac that you got through the field orders on Fog, so this time it was something more fitting to the map Ruins, recreating the Predator colony. Now, how do you get him? Well, it's a field order kill streak, as was the Mike Myers in Fog, so you have to complete the task in the field order briefcase that you get upon killing an enemy. Now, the game code works so that it's usually one of the first field orders dropped in a care package, usually the first or second, although I have seen it on rare cases later than that, and it's usually before the volcano bomb as well. Now, when you get this field order, you'll see that your helicopter drops a Maniac crate, and once you get that, you'll have instant access to the Predator. Now, there are some very cool features about the Predator, so I'll name them off some of the various abilities. You get cloaking, a shoulder cannon, claw and knives, increased health, increased speed, and a KEM when dying. So that's all very cool. That's all a lot of perks and a lot of reason to go fighting for the Predator once it's called in. But now let's get into the specifics. It's not a real breakdown unless we do that. So let's start out with the health. It's 1250. That's the same as Mike Myers or the Maniac compared to the normal 100 health. Now, I was one of those people that was among the assumption that the Predator did not have as much health as the Mike Myers field order or the Maniac, but upon testing it, it was proven that it is the same amount as the other two. Now, one of my favorite parts about the Predator is the cloaking, and a lot of people were concerned when this was first announced that this would be super overpowered, and I'm here to reassure you that it's not as overpowered as you may think. Now, you're only cloaked when you're doing one of three things: moving slowly, not moving at all, or crouch walking. So there's a lot of times where you're going to be vulnerable, such as when you're knifing, sprinting, or shooting with the shoulder cannon, that the cloaking is not going to be active, that you're going to be able to be seen by all the enemies on the map. However, on the flip side, the cloaking is actually very great camouflage for the Predator and the user using it. It's quite hard to see when tracking at a distance. If he's right on top of you or somewhere by you where he runs near you, you're gonna be able to see the little blur of motion that is the Predator, but other than that, it is quite hard to see at range. As well, if you turn a corner and don't know that he's in the area, you're probably not gonna see him off of first glance. So the cloaking certainly does its job well, but at the same time, it's not like he's going to be invisible forever. As a player, you do have a certain advantage over top of the Predator, simply because unless he goes full ninja on you, he will have to sprint, giving away his cover, or you'll be close enough to see him while cloaked. Now, another awesome feature about the Predator is the fact that he has thermal vision. It's an awesome touch in my opinion, and it can be toggled off and on with the left trigger. Now, it tracks enemies using body heat, so it does the same thing as any thermal scope in the game, but it just highlights them in a yellow-orange tint with a background color of blue over top of the landscape. Now, something that I found really interesting though is the fact that if you have incog on, it still does its job. If you have it on, you're not going to be outlined by the thermal sensors. That being said though, you still can be seen by the Predator both in normal vision and thermal vision. The thermal vision just allows you not to be outlined, so at range it's going to be a lot tougher to see your enemies if they have incog on, but it can still be done. And as far as I am aware, you can still be targeted with the auto lock of the shoulder cannon with incog on. I haven't tested any of the other perks to see if that blocks it or not, so as of right now, I'm pretty sure that you cannot get away from the auto lock. Now let's move on to the speed. It is much faster than the average soldier. Even with perks such as agility and marathon, you're not going to be able to outrun the Predator. It's consistently slower than the Maniac though, however. Now, to me, this is very balanced actually. You're only equipped with a knife and a cannon, and we'll get into the actual details of that in a few seconds, but it's also a very good equalizing factor, the fact that you can be able to outrun your enemies and you can charge up on them a lot quicker than a normal soldier could. Now, on the flip side, don't try to outrun the Predator. You're not going to do it. Unload your weapon into him. Depending on the gun, it takes about a clip and a half if you're accurate and if you can track him. Now, moving over into what the Predator has in terms of killing abilities, it has a standard knife which has the normal properties of the knifing range. That knifing range is consistent with everything from the Predator, the Maniac, and a normal soldier. Now, what you need to keep in mind though when we're talking about the knifing range is the fact that it's consistent with the broken knife lunging and knifing code. A lot of the times you'll see players in multiplayer just totally 360 you with the auto aim that the knife has, and that's the same thing with the Predator, the Maniac, Mike Myers, and a normal soldier. That entire code is consistent throughout the game. So the knifing range may not seem like a lot, but at the same point in time, if you get the right steps and the right angle, you're going to be able to get a huge non-fair advantage over your enemies with the knifing animation. Now, next up, we have the shoulder cannon. It is extremely powerful and has a lock-on range of about 15 to 20 meters, give or take here and there. Now, I really hate pulling numbers from other commentators and other similar series, but the one thing that caught my attention and totally blew my mind was the fact that Drifter did a nice test on this, in which one shot of the shoulder cannon killed the Maniac, which has the same health as the Predator and a 12.5 times increase in health over a normal soldier. That being said, it took one shot of the shoulder cannon to kill it. Now, to me, that is absolutely crazy. That definitely gives it the #1 slot as the most lethal explosive in this game. Although on the equalizing side, it is something that isn't as frequently used as a knife for multiple reasons. One, because it has to lock onto an enemy, which takes about 2 to 3 seconds in its own. 2, you have to be in the range of the shoulder cannon to use it. And 3, because it has a 7.5 second reload time on the cannon. Although with all that being said, if you're in an area with multiple people and you get locked on, you can get a double, triple, or multi-kill, depending how many people are in the vicinity of the explosive when it goes off. So even though you can't use it as frequently as a knife and it takes a little bit longer to earn those kills with the shoulder cannon, it is still a great addition to the Predator, and it is very lethal. Now, we have one more thing left to talk about before we end this episode today, so let's talk about the death sequence. When you actually put enough damage into the Predator, he goes down into the last stand or dead man's hand position, and then starts to activate a KEM strike, and there is no escaping it, so if you're on the enemy team, you're gonna die. Is it a little bit OP? In my personal opinion, a little bit, but then again, I can't really say that getting a care package chem strike on strike zone is any better, so you can be the judge of that, but you cannot kill him before the chem goes off. It's something I see a lot, is a lot of people are trying to frantically shoot the Predator before he blows up the chem strike in last stand, so there is no escaping it if he does activate that chem. The only way in which the Predator does not drop a chem is if he jumps off the side of the map as the Predator, which, interestingly enough, you'll trap the field orders out there as well when jumping off, so I'm not entirely sure if the field orders respawn in a certain point in time later, but if not, then the field orders are completely trapped out there. So my overall thoughts is the fact that I love this field order kill streak. It's an awesome piece of pop culture to add into the game, and it fits the map's decor perfectly. It's definitely something that I go for when I get on the map Ruins. It's a lot of fun to use, and I love to play around with it, though I do hope that whenever I'm in game and somebody gets it, that it is my team so that I do not get chemmed. And I'm personally looking forward to seeing what Maniac skin they put into the DLC 3 and 4. It's something that is going to be really hard to top in my opinion after this one, simply because I'm just a huge fan of the Predator films, as well as how well this one panned out. So that's been my time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this super long edition of this breakdown. A nice way to bring back the series, in my opinion. Something that I had a lot of fun doing, a lot of fun testing, and a lot of fun just playing with the Predator. Again, as always, if you're on Carnage Clan, come check my channel out down in the description below. If you're on my channel, go check out Carnage down in the description below of my video. And if you did like the video, please leave a like rating down below. Any shares to your Facebook, Twitter, and or MySpace if you're OG like that are always greatly appreciated. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe for the best of Call of Duty Ghost content. I have a ton of stuff still coming to you guys. As always, I hope you guys are having a great day. I shall see you guys later. Take care, and peace.